Hello Africa, welcome to the channel where we give you the truth, not the cute, so you can make a loot playing the flute and retire on a beach drinking pina colada and eating fig newt. Alright, so what we have for today? Ghana. Ghana has received 105 military vehicles from the EU, which is nice because they will need them to fight the terrorists that the EU has promised will come. Does that sound strange to you? It should, especially if you have been following Ghana since Nana Akufo-Addo became president. President Nana Akufo-Addo is known for a few things. 1 is English, 2 is speech, 3 is English speeches. One thing for certain, that man can speak. These are statements made by Nana Akufo-Addo. Africans should stop exporting raw material so we can keep more of the profits from the things we produce. Africans should stop being beggars in order to become respected. This is the same Nana Akufo-Addo on the dining table asking the US and Europe for aid. And I quote, help us all, Russian mercenary on northern border. Burkina Faso has given them gold mine as payments. Help us all. Contradictory maybe, but who hasn't make a little contradiction every now and then? And he's asking because he said their agent committed to the destruction of democracy, hard at work in West Africa. He needed the support of the West in order to defend democracy. That's when my spider sense start tingling. Because in the series of events, things are not adding up. Follow me here. Along with Nigeria, Ghana has threatened to invade Niger after the military coup. Ghana said that it was afraid that Wagner Russians were operating on the northern border, being hosted by Burkina Faso, who was given over a mind to pay for service. What service? To fight the terrorists. The same terrorists that Ghana is receiving weapons from Europe to fight. And that point is very obvious that Ghana should be working with Burkina Faso. But strangely, Ghana's leader has went to Europe and asked them for help instead, which puts itself and Burkina Faso in a position to fight as proxies between Russia and the West. France is a EU country. For decades, France was in the Sahel to fight terrorism, and they failed badly. They were accused of supporting terrorists and were driven out. That's because terrorism got worse while they were there. Yet Ghana has no problem with France and sourcing Russia as a threat instead. What issue does Ghana has with Russia, and why would they not want their northern neighbor to work with Russia? If Russia could do what France could not and drive out the terrorists, why is the EU sending weapons to Ghana? Why would the EU want to help Ghana when Ghana's ban and raw material export will harm the EU profit? Maybe Ghana is offering something more valuable in exchange for the profit. A bridge to Russia in Africa, maybe? It almost sounds like Ghana was given an assignment where for economic wiggle room, they have chosen to become the eyes and ears of the EU in West Africa, keeping watch on countries that are trying to break free from France, as well as keeping an eye on the movement of the Russians. And as far as the military equipment go, Ghana is unlikely to be encountering Russians in West Africa. For one, there aren't that many Russians there. So one would hope that Ghana would not sink so low as to attack their neighboring country on behalf of foreign powers, because that would make Ghana the awaited terrorists that the West has prophesied. At the least, it would create the terrorism in the form of affected group rising to retaliate.